afternoon. Thank you for coming. My name is Rosanne Janega, and I am here today to discuss executive function difficulties, otherwise known as EFD. Now, we're going to discuss what they are, how they develop, their importance in our everyday lives, and how we can recognize somebody who's actually having difficulty. Now, executive functions develop in the frontal lobe of our brain. They help us with time management, planning, organizing, shifting from one activity to another, problem solving, and it also helps with our emotional control. Now, essentially, it helps us with everyday tasks. So I'm sure that all of those things I just listed, you do every day, or you use those skills every single day. Now, to better understand executive skills, let's talk about the brain. Now, they develop in the frontal lobe of the brain, which is the last part of the human brain to develop. Now, growth begins at 6 to 12 months of age, and there are two critical development points from there, between 3 to 6 years of age, and then again at puberty. Now, the brain is not fully developed until we're in our mid-20s, and not all brains are going to develop at the same pace. So I think that we can all sort of imagine that it's almost like a puzzle is coming together, but we're missing a few pieces. Now, studies have shown that a brain can catch up by the time we're in our adolescence. So now, how can we recognize somebody who's having executive function difficulties? Well, not always that easy, but they cannot do several instructions. So a list of instructions can be sometimes a challenge. Multitasking, easily distracted by sound or physical distractions. When you're speaking to them, it appears as though they're not listening to you. They may be a little more slow moving. We might think they're just very low stress. They might be a little emotional. Focusing and prioritizing tasks might be another challenge that they see, that you notice that they have. Now, in order to give you a better example of what executive functions look like, we're going to use two children. We'll say Michael and Chloe. Now, we're going to say that Chloe has fully developed executive skills. We're going to say that Michael's are developing, so a little bit slower pace. So what's something you might notice is that both children are told by their parent, go upstairs, brush your teeth, get dressed, and get ready for school. No problem. So both children run upstairs. Now, Chloe will go upstairs, brush her teeth, and think, okay, if I brush my teeth and I get dressed kind of fast, I might have some extra time to draw on my sketchbook or play with my dolls before I have to take my homework downstairs and get ready for school. Michael, on the other hand, may run upstairs and start to get dressed and then realize, hey, I was reading that comic book last night. It was kind of funny, and then start to read through the comic book a little bit. And then hear somebody maybe playing in the other room and decide, I'm just going to go check that out and see what's going on, and completely lose track of, first of all, the list of things that he had to do, and secondly, not really noticing that time is going by. So it may seem that Chloe's just a better behaved child. Well, no. What we have to remember is that if we're assuming both children are very well behaved, is that if her executive skills are fully developed or developing at the proper rate, then she is able to plan and organize her time. She's able to remember a list of things. She has better time management skills and a sense of time itself. So where we have to sort of be a little bit more lenient with Michael, because essentially at the end of the day, what Michael needs is a substitute frontal lobe until his brain catches up. So moms, dads, teachers will all be that substitute frontal lobe for us. Now, how can we help Michael? Well, we can help him in school with visual aids, not giving him a list of tasks, perhaps one thing at a time. Remain eye contact with somebody who is diagnosed or you may think has executive function difficulties, so that you know that they're listening to you. Reduce any distractions or noises, let's say when you're doing homework with someone. Keeping with routines, that's always very helpful. Chunking exercises or activities, so doing big chunks of things at a time instead of an array of different things all at once. Being sensitive to their lack of focus, so take breaks, get up and stretch, or that kind of thing. Use technology whenever possible, so typing things instead of writing things, because those fine motor skills are also developed in the front lobe of the brain. Point out some overreactions perhaps in certain situations. So not to make that person feel bad, of course, but to help them realize that they've overreacted, which might then, bring them down a little bit and back on a regular scale. So now, executive function skills are essential in everyday tasks, as we discussed. Now, we just have to adjust the way that we help people, and hopefully everything will catch up in time. Thank you so much for all of your time today. I hope I've given you something to think about, and there's so much more we can discuss on this. So please feel free to come and find me after this presentation if you have any questions about anything. I'm happy to discuss it. Thank you. Have a great day.